Hello, my name is Dana Trump. I'm with the Land Pride Service Department. Today we're going to install third function valves on a LX tractor. Today we're starting off with a 380-420A flat face valve kit. Will fit the ROPS tractor like the one behind me. For the cab model, you're going to use a 380-419A flat face, again for cab models. The tractor we're using is going to be a LX4020. This kit will also fit the LX3520. Both these tractors are equipped with the LA545 loader. So we're going to unbox our contents and we'll show you what's inside. Unboxing your third function valve, you will find we do pack them in foam. Inside here, there's basically three components that are assembled for you. Here's your loader, or bulkhead for the loader. All the brackets are assembled, tips are on both ends. There's your third function valve. You notice the bracket's already assembled. It's ready to go on the tractor. Here's your pressure and return hoses from the valve to the tractor. And here we have your handle that we will use to install on the loader lever. As you can tell, all these parts are pre-assembled. They're all ready to bolt on to the tractor. What we have left in the box is the manual, and also a thank you for your order, zip ties, and some fittings that we will use later. We will now install this valve on this tractor. So this valve will sit down here, right up against that collar. We'll take and bolt this bracket on, put the bolts in, tighten it down. Okay, we got the valve installed. The bolts are torqued. This bracket, when you put it on, make sure you slide it up against that swelled piece on this round tube here. That's the position of it. Set the valve at 90 degrees. Next thing we're going to do is take off the right rear tire, and we're going to remove the seat so we can get our hoses from our Power Beyond and our return plumbed up here to our pressure and tank ports. Okay, at this time, we've jacked the tractor up. We got our jack stand in place. It's sitting firmly on a jack stand. Remember, safety first. Next, we're going to remove the tire. Okay, as you can tell, the tire's been removed. Now for the seat. The electrical for the seat is underneath here. Get it unhooked. There is 2 bolts on the right side, 1 front, 1 back, 2 back. There is left side, there's 2 on the front and 2 on the back. This will remove the seat and the pan at the same time. We're going to remove these bolts, take the seat out of the way so we can get to our Power Beyond port. Okay, the Power Beyond port on this tractor is a steel tube. This is your Power Beyond port. We're going to have to take this bolt here out. This tube wraps around behind this pan and comes in right atop the transmission, right above your 3-point rated drop valve. Most people are not going to have enough room to get their hands in there to get that. We need to take this pan off. There's 3 bolts on the fender side, 2 at the top, 1 toward the bottom. You'll also have a bolt here on each side. These 2 bolts here come off. And to help you, these here pull off. Get your wrench behind it, pop them off. And we'll take this thing out. Okay, this front pan actually come out of there very easy. I did find a wire that goes to the seat. What I did is I just unhooked it, unclipped it so I can salvage this. It's still good. We're going to set this aside. Here is your return port. It's a tank. This is the tube I'm referring to. We're going to remove this hard line now. Okay, we took the longest hose as the pressure line. We attached it to the Power Beyond port, and I put the elbow straight up. As you can see, we come up right behind this bracket here for the loader function. We got it threaded right through all this and you see it flopping underneath there. We got it running right beside this loader brace. And it comes up and attaches to the pressure port of the third function valve. Make sure it's the pressure port. Tighten each end. Now we're going to put the fitting in the tank port on top of the transmission. We're going to run that hose from top of the transmission in the same area as we run this one to hook up to the tank port, which is going to be the further forward port in this case. Okay, we got the return line put in. If you notice the angle on it, we got the fitting here on the housing. Then we got the short hose we used, elbows up here at 90 degrees. We got it running through here, and it's running down tight against the transmission housing. And it's following that pressure hose as well up here to the third function valve. Again, this is the return line. This goes to the tank port. Okay, at this point here, we fired the tractor up to check for leaks on our hoses that we have hooked up from the transmission to the third function valve and back to the case drain. We had no leaks. We put the tire back on, dropped the tractor back down. I got the pan on at this point. The seat I've not put on yet because our next step is electrical. Okay, we got the knob pulled off. We're gonna put the handle on. At this time here, remember to position this handle to your favorite position for running a third function valve. At that point, we're gonna lock these down. We're gonna zip tie this wire, follow the lever down to the transmission. Okay, as you see the wire, we got it zip tied to the handle, the lever. I come over here, we split the wiring harness in two. One side with the two clips go up forward to the third function valve. That is this wire here. We got that zip tied following down the transmission. We actually followed the hoses and zip tied to them and hooked these two to the third function valve. The green goes on top, the black one goes on the bottom coil. Got them snapped into place. The other wire on this harness is your power wire. We got it running down the right-hand side of the tractor underneath, got that zip tied up. As you can tell, we come through right here. We're gonna pull this dash back because our plug-in is right under here. That's our next step. Okay, at this point here, we want to pull this knob off here for the tilt wheel. I had to use a couple of flat bars in here against that shoulder. I was able to pull this off with a little bit of ingenuity. At this point here, I've got everything unbolted. We're going to pull this dash back carefully. There is some length of wires. There we go. Now we're going to see if we can get a camera shot of where this plug-in for the power is. Okay, got the power wire hooked up. As you can see, at this point here, this wire we're going to put on the inside of this tab. This tab here bolts back on the tractor here. Your fuse holder is right here. In case you ever blow a fuse, you know where it's located at, so you can check it and replace it if need be. Shove that wire back in there, and we're going to gently put the dash back together. Okay, the last step for installation. Here's the hose that runs up the loader arms. These quick couplers here will hook up the third function valve. This clamp here will come through this bolt hole up here at the mast. This bracket here is going to hook to the lift cylinder and put a bolt in here. And this bracket here is going to get spun around like that. Remove this bolt, set this in place, put the bolt on. That's our next step. Okay, we got the hoses attached to the loader arm. Everything is secure and tight. The next step is to jump on the tractor, start it up, run the hydraulics, loader up, down, tilt, run the 3-point, make sure everything's working properly. If something is not working like it should, stop the tractor and check your pressure and return lines. Most likely they're backwards. The next step, what we're going to show you is a cab model installation. This cab model's already got the third function valve installed, but we're going to actually expose the wiring and the hydraulic lines and show you exactly how that model is done. It is a little different. Okay, this is the LX35 cabbed model. This one is a little bit different. You got a cab in the way. There's actually a little bit more room underneath the seat on this model. The pressure and return lines hook up in the same manner as the ROPS model. We're going to take the seat out. There's 2 bolts front, 2 bolts back, unhook the wiring to the seat. The seat easily goes through the back window. We'll get it removed, and we will show you where the wires and everything is run the hoses as well. Okay, the seat's been removed. This pan, there's an ECM here. There's another plate here. A couple more bolts. We're going to take them bolts out, and this thing will actually pivot up out of the way. And underneath here, you will see the return line up on top of the transmission. Same place the ROPS model is. The pressure line's in the same place the ROPS model is. You can see these lines, how they come up through here and over the top of the transmission, just like the last model. At this point, we're going to put this back, and we're going to take this console off and show you how to run the electrical wiring from this handle to where they need to go. Okay, after you remove the 3 bolts underneath the fender for this plastic piece, pull this knob off here, set it aside. We're going to raise this thing up carefully, push forward, pull the boot up, raise this up, grab hold of this piece here, pull up a little bit. Now we have access for the cord to come down to the floor. And this cord, as you can see right here, runs across underneath the floor mat and runs up right here for the power wire. Okay, to take this dash, you're going to pull it back. You got a bolt at each corner at the bottom. You got a Phillip head screw right dead center. It's black, same color as the dash. Same location basically as the ROPS tractor. Remove them 3 fasteners, and this panel will come back, giving you access to where you need to plug the power cord in at. Okay, the dash has been pulled back. The power wire comes up here and plugs into this terminal right here behind this bracket. You can see part of that. We'll get you a good, clearer picture of it. That plugs into there also. Here's your fuse. That way you know where it's located. After that's plugged in, we're going to go back down to the Y. The bottom part of that Y is going to be the wires that go to the 3rd function valve for both solenoids. That'll run down through the floorboard of the tractor cab, and it's going to run across underneath the floorboard to the other side to the 3rd function valve. We will show you that directly. Okay, the harness for the coils comes underneath the cab, like I explained earlier. Come on across. There's plenty of places to zip tie it up high. Remember, the green goes on top coil, the black goes to the bottom of coil. If you notice on this cab unit, the difference between that and the ROPS, you notice this valve is tipped back. It's not 90 degrees. That needs to be done to allow room for the hoses between that and this mount on the cab. So if you tip that back a little bit, you'll be able to get onto your hoses onto your fittings very easily. That's the only difference between the ROPS and the cab models. This concludes the installation instructions for the LX4020 and the LX3520 tractors, cab and ROPS. If you have more questions, consult your operator's manual or see your local Land Pride dealer. For more instructional videos, go to our Land Pride's YouTube channel. I'm Dana Trump. Thank you for watching, and thank you for buying Land Pride.